Hi, so there was a video on the deleted channel about diet pills, and if my memory serves me, it was just half an hour of me ranting about liver damage because everything I talked about has a risk of causing liver damage. So this is not going to be the same video as before, but it will be a long video, so I'm just going to warn you right here. And tangent before we start, yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed with losing weight, and I haven't talked about it much on the channel, so it might be surprising. I mean, I think that it's gone to this weird point where it's easier to talk about vomiting than it is about wanting to lose weight because it's such a problematic topic. And knowing that, you know, I'm on camera not looking, I don't know, I look like I'm at a normal weight, and I'm talking about wanting to lose weight, and that's just gonna make everybody come at me for, I don't know, like encouraging unhealthy weight loss or like unhealthy whatever. And I'm also walking a thin moral line because I don't wanna accidentally give out like tips about where to find whatever diet pills that are obviously dangerous, but I want to lecture. So if you hear me leaving out a lot of cases or examples, that's probably why. And of course, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a pharmacist or even like a student of either, so I'm just a person who's done way too much research and probably played with a lot of stuff that's going to cause liver damage. So this video is a combination of my personal opinions, and research on diet pills and reading too much about the FDA. So if you're considering buying diet pills or you're considering... Yeah, sorry, I live downtown now. That's gonna be a thing. I don't edit videos. If you're considering diet pills, this is like watching this and watching me talk about shit is not a substitute for doing your own thorough research and being aware of the risks. And I know like no amount of going through risks and side effects is really gonna discourage anyone from taking diet pills, but if you're really going to go down that path, you should at least have a decent understanding of what exactly you're putting in yourself. And I know people with eating disorders, aka everybody who watches me at this point, and they're more desperate to lose weight than most of the people who are gonna look at diet pills and whatever, and probably even more desperate than most of the people that diet pills are getting marketed for, I guess. And that's the main reason why I want to make this, because I really don't encourage or condone the use of diet pills, but I have taken a lot of them in the past, and I do own a lot of them, and I read about them a lot. So all I encourage really is having as much information as you can get on the subject, so at least you know how you're hurting yourself. I don't know. Really, it's not going to discourage anyone, but I want to discourage you, alright? That's out of the way. So, if there's anything that you're going to take away from this, it's that the supplement industry is fucking shady as hell. Like, there's so much shady bullshit, and this is gonna get me demonetized, but I'm mad, so I'm gonna cuss a lot. I'm sorry. First of all, dietary supplements don't require pre-market review, because they're not drugs, so they're not subject to the same like review process as drugs. So basically, you are the guinea pig. Like, you know how they're gonna find out like whether or not their supplement causes like liver damage or serious fucking with blood pressure? When someone dies from it, pretty much. Like, that's their fucking clinical trial. Supplement manufacturers are responsible for determining that their products are safe and that their label claims are truthful and not misleading. Yeah, the manufacturers are responsible, so they're not gonna do shit, you know? And really, the truth about FDA regulation of supplements and whatever's on the market and like okay for you to buy is that anything too effective is eventually gonna get banned. The obvious reason is because most effective weight loss aids are stimulants, which are easily abused, and they commonly cause issues with blood pressure and your heart. And as stimulant weight loss aids get more and more popular, and more people start buying a certain like some product with one ingredient in it, the chances of somebody accidentally overdosing or getting seriously harmed by it increases, and usually that's when the FDA catches on and just bans the shit. We saw this happen with ephedra in 2003 in the US, and sibutramine. I'm butchering pronunciations because I'm not a med student. And also DMAA very recently. So most of what's being sold without issue for a long time and is still available for you to buy today is generally pretty mild and not the most effective. Like, that's why it's still allowed to exist. Even beyond that, I think there's a lot of problematic ingredients in most diet pills, so we're going to go over some of those reasons. First of all, excessive stimulants. Yeah, stimulants make up the bulk of appetite-suppressing, thermogenic, energizing properties of diet pills. And Christ, like, have you seen those dosages? I don't know, I'm sort of a whore for caffeine, but sometimes, like, even I am online and I'm reading the ingredients and I'm like, are you sure that's like, that's gonna kill a horse? Like, what sort of a rational person is gonna put that and like just assume that it's okay for people to take, especially if you have a lower body weight? Well, of course you can get like complications at any weight, but think of somebody who's, say, at like a lower BMI and you're taking that much fucking caffeine. I swear, some of these blends is just them throwing every stimulant possible into a pill and then just selling it to you in 400 milligrams of caffeine. That's not going to give anyone a heart attack. Secondly, diet pills are occasionally found to contain trace amounts of shit that they shouldn't contain, aka shit that isn't labeled on the container. So you can be vigilant and read the ingredients and research the ingredients, and you can still get fucked in the ass by a good old dose of like blood pressure raising sibutramine, or even like fluoxetine, which is Prozac. So, I mean, common sense, you shouldn't have SSRIs in diet pills. People who aren't prescribed Prozac taking this shit and having it like possibly interact with your meds. You get what I mean. So I'm gonna stop and move on to like not, because see, I set out trying to make this a very informative video, and now I'm just ranting and swearing a lot, so we're gonna try and dial that down a bit. Okay, I'm calm. Next thing we're gonna talk about is proprietary blends. So what are these? The FDA requires everyone to list, all like manufacturers to list companies, what the fuck am I saying? To list ingredients and amounts on the label unless the ingredients are part of a proprietary blend, in which case the specific amount of each ingredient doesn't have to be listed, just the total grams of ingredients in the blend. So they can just say like 400 milligrams of A, B, and C ingredient. People, companies like doing this because they claim it protects their formula or whatnot. But honestly, if anybody wanted to know what exactly and what amount of like ingredient is in a supplement or a diet pill, you can just buy it and test it. It's very simple. It really doesn't require that much effort. So this has a couple of issues. First of all is fairy dusting, which is the practice of having a cheap and common ingredient making up the bulk of the blend, and then one expensive but arguably more effective or active ingredient making up a tiny portion. So they're selling it to you as like, oh, active ingredient ABC, but really it's just a tiny amount of what you're getting, and most of it is like generic caffeine or something. The second issue, which I am more concerned with, is safety concerns, efficacy concerns. Because given how expensive diet pills are, first of all, do you really want to be scammed out of $50 for a pinch of an active ingredient? And the thing is, if you're a crazy person like me, you can be, and yes, I have done this, so I'm not saying anyone who does this is fucking stupid, but if you're going to be taking several different diet pills and basically you're just stacking them on top of each other, and you don't know how much exactly of one ingredient there is in each pill, you can be giving yourself like double or triple the amount that you should be having, or really you shouldn't be having any at all, but like 2 or 3 times a safe dose because you don't know exactly what you're getting. It's fucking dangerous. Don't take diet pills, but you're this far into the video, so I'm not very confident. Okay, moving on. If you've been looking at diet pills for a while, you might have noticed how ridiculous some of the names on the packaging are. Like there's 16 adjectives on the front of the package, like super ripped, amazing, lean, like ultimate revolutionary burn. I don't know, okay? It's fucking bullshit in itself. Like that's already sort of funny. But the names of the pills are often some like weird made up name like hydroxycut or Xenadrine, both of which I've tried and are very bad for you, by the way. So it sounds like super scientific, like they're trying to imitate prescription drugs. But then you look at the back, and it's literally the 10 most popular generic stimulant ingredients like caffeine, green tea extract, ECGC, Garcinia cambogia. And then sometimes on the ingredients list, or even the front of the packaging, you can find some like esoteric scientific sounding ingredient, and it usually sounds something like Bernadrexine 4000. And it has a little registered trademark thing next to it. See, if you didn't know that I'm a sarcastic and angry bitch, you might have fallen for Bernadrexine 4000 being an actual ingredient, because they pretty much all sound like that. And see how easy it is to come up with bullshit? The reason why I find this really misleading is because most of the time these long fancy names are just different extracts of the same old ingredients. Like Garcinia cambogia, for example, it could pretty much be just Garcinia cambogia extract, but extracted with a patented technique that supposedly makes it like, I don't know, 380 times more absorbable by the body and like 72% higher concentration. Or it's a patented blend of proprietary ingredients like Advantra Z or something, but really it's just bitter orange extract, which is in every single diet pill anyway, or like most anyway, that you're getting at Walmart or whatever. I think at this point we've crossed over from like this is dangerous to I'm just angry and I'm gonna keep talking. But why do I find this misleading? Someone who isn't experienced with diet pills or diet pill ingredients can easily not look past such a name and not know what they're getting, or they're assuming that they're taking a more effective pill than they actually are. Or you could be taking, multiple supplements with the same ingredient and not know that they're dosing themselves with double or triple the amount of the same thing. And finally, I think we all knew about this part, but I've saved it for last because I hope you guys all know this. Aggressive blends of stimulants. Now, most of the pills that are available at, say, Walmart or like Shoppers Drug Mart, they're honestly not going to be all that strong. So if they're not that strong, the chance of you actually getting seriously injured by it is lower. I mean, it's still not good, but it's lower. But if you get like seriously like balls deep into the fitness industry and there are some strong pre-workouts and diet pills usually found for order online from some equally shady and questionable websites, yeah, that's where you find like pills and pre-workouts that are so strong your heart will pretty much stop. Like, how I was talking about how the FDA cracks down on anything that's too strong? But have you ever loaded 220% of your recommended intake of caffeine straight into your bloodstream? Yeah, that's still a thing that happens even if you don't have any like crazy ingredients. Like the whole thing with DMAA was that it was a very strong stimulant, and people were getting like very bad blood pressure and heart issues from it. And you know, the thing with DMAA is that it's still getting sold because the FDA sort of has a scarily small amount of power when it comes to this like non-drug sort of thing. Like, unless, I don't know, like, I guess with the ephedrine thing, so you can still buy ephedrine, which is in itself shady as fuck, especially in Canada. It's a very shady way that they're selling it. But even with DMAA being banned, there are still like new things that are strong stimulants, and they're not getting banned yet, and they're still getting sold in pre-workouts and stuff. They're not banned yet because they're relatively new and no one's died from it. That's why they're still, that's why FDA hasn't gone like going the way of ephedrine. But see, on the one hand, I am guilty of seeking out these like particular seriously stimulating excessive amounts of caffeine things. But you have to realize that not everybody is, and I realize that not everybody is going to like read every single Google result on whatever you're buying and be aware of this sort of thing. And you know, people are just gonna slam like 5 pills of this crap because they think it's gonna make it work better. Which is why you should be doing research, and that's why if you're taking it, you should take it seriously. But not everyone does, and even people who are in like the fitness and whatnot, into that sort of shit, and not just crazy person with eating disorder trying to lose 7 pounds in 2 hours. Even some of those people, they're not aware of this shit, and yeah, 5 pills in 2 hours, your heart gives out. Which, I've also done that before. Like, I've had caffeine overdose issues, and it was not fun. I wasn't anywhere near death, but it was a bad experience, and now I religiously count like how many milligrams of caffeine I've had if I'm gonna take diet pills. Like, you have to be very aware of how much coffee you're drinking, whether or not you're having like Monster or something, because if you just throw everything in, you're gonna fucking die. So I've run out of things to be angry about, but I'll let you know if I find anything else shady to get angry about, and you'll hear from me in another video. I realize this is my second video in probably a very short period of time, but I have to ride this urge to talk to a camera as far as it'll take me, because if I don't, there will not be any new videos, because yeah, and also we're like a week away from school starting, so that's either going to have me like vlogging my emotional trauma twice a day or taking a 2-week hiatus. We don't know. So thank you for watching. Please be safe out there and don't kill yourself with stimulants. I'm such a hypocrite for making this video because, like, full disclosure, I'm gonna hit stop on this record, and then I'm going to go back to looking up where I can buy all these dangerous things that are probably gonna kill me, but I don't know, at least I'm doing research, and you should be too. So, thank you for watching me rant. I hope it was somehow helpful, and take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Bye.